Save Alba. Boom, boom, boom. Well, I mean, might as well read them. Encyclopedia.
I understand. Within lie many
Outland
historical
Mage.
records.
He's really cool. Hey, does he have a question? What's up, Nine? What kind of... What's up? Do you... Is it one of those where you need me to hop in, or... Can you go and get... Can you go get and show me the coolest thing on your shelf? One second. Hi. Hi, hello. What do you mean by the coolest thing on my shelf? Because you guys are muted. Like... No, you're fine. But what do you mean the coolest thing on my shelf? Because there are... Like, the coolest thing that I think that someone would like, or... Like... Okay. This one? Because I have 2 shelves that have stuff on them. Okay. Why? You asshole! In here, I was about to pull the friggin'... I was about to grab the Majora's Mask game. You freaking goof. Thank you, Nine. Well, let me show you. Let me show you. Been a minute since I've dusted. Freaking goofball. I have this.
How did he?
Hold on.
Oh, that's so
Headphones on.
fucking cool, dude.
What's up?
That's so cool.
Yeah. Freaking oof. Yeah. Is the when Link gets turned into a Deku Scrub, which you can... One second. You can see everything on the screen behind me. There's Skull Kid back there, and then...
Yeah, I see Skull Kid.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
So
I think...
that's so... And Tattle and Tail.
Yeah. But with a terrible fate, haven't you?
That's so cool,
I can
dude.
see you guys.
You can see the Gooners.
Well, no, I've actually... I have that tab hat hidden.
Good boy.
I gotta
You
put
know, I
this up
think
real quick.
somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'd have to find it. But I have a necklace, and it's got Majora's Mask and the arrows behind it, and it's like metal. This little shit just left me. He left me unsupervised.
Crazy.
Oh, and then 9. I also have the Majora's Mask shot glasses on top of that.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, freaking. What were you saying as I was walking away? Penis. He's back. Everyone be quiet. Y'all are fine. Thank you for popping in, Micropolis. Nothing. Just scroll up. Y'all weren't talking about anything.
Faster. You can't scroll faster than I can type it.
Bro, better get them buns of steel back in here. On God, for real, for real. And then Micropolis says thank you. And then you said you're welcome. Thank you, 9. I greatly appreciate it. Grimy says, oh, he's back. Be quiet, everyone. 9 yells penis in all caps. Oh, nothing. That's a lot of nothing.
Me to my life.
Nothing happened. We were good. On God, for real. No calf. Yas, queen. Soleil. Well, that felt weird. I don't like that. I need to make a note of the timestamp so that I can go back and remove it from the VOD. 2:57.
I'll just clip it.
Well, y'all can clip whatever you want. This is like for YouTube that I'm talking about. Oh, that just reminds me that I have to go through while I'm editing, not editing, but clipping up the freaking Bloodborne and make sure that I get the ear cleaning out.
No, that was so funny.
No. Bebop freaking he recorded it and he'll send it to me every once in a while when he's bored. And he'll be like, "Hey, you remember this?" Yes, I remember that. I was there for that.
Orgasm?
What? Why not, 9? What other badge would you want?
Very well. Let us trace the journeys of those who shape
Choo-choo,
history.
you got nothing. Freaking mood.
I'll be waiting. Contained within are records pertaining
Or a sight.
Oh,
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
oh. Leaving or gather?
Scriptures of Germanique. I opened the Scriptures of Germanique entrusted to me by Elder Simon and began to leaf through the pages. The words before my eyes were writ in a holy script of the ancients, far beyond my ken. Several illustrations were scattered throughout, but many pages were missing or damaged, and the script was exceedingly difficult to decipher. As I turned the pages, faintly penned words of modern Evelesian script occasionally caught my eye. Notes of an explanatory nature had been added here and there throughout the book, all written in the same hand, though exactly whose I could not say. A faint scent of ink rose from these notes, and as I touched my finger to one of them, the writing smeared. It seemed to have been penned only in the last few days. Then I realized that these transcriptions were most likely... I'm gonna mute myself in Discord so y'all don't have to deal with me. Because I don't want it to be like, oh, we're just listening to Dizzy talk. I then realized that these transcriptions were most likely Elder Simon's work. He must have devoted a significant portion of his life as custodian of the underground library to deciphering these scriptures, line by painstaking. I relied heavily on his fragmentary notes as I continued reading. Apparently, the Holy Script had been recorded by Germanique. But who was that? The name struck a familiar chord as half-forgotten history lessons rose unbidden in my mind. And then I remembered. Germanique was the disciple of Saint Ajora, who betrayed his master, turning him over to the Holy Yandoran Empire. And in doing so, ensured his name would live on in infamy. I was astounded that a Librum penned by the same Germanique from my history lessons now rested in my very hands. Too late. Saint Ajora. Hold on. Germanique was the disciple of Saint Ajora who betrayed his master, turning him over to the Holy Edoran Empire, and in doing so, ensured his name would live on in infamy. I was astounded that the Librum penned by the same Germanique from my history lessons now rested in my very hands. Saint Ajora was a child of the gods, descended from the heavens to deliver humanity from its self-inflicted chaos. By his prophecies was the word of the divine imparted upon mortal men. After his death, these teachings formed the basis of the Church of Glabados, its name meaning to obey God, in the holy tongue of the ancients. The church's influence later spread throughout Ivalice, and further afield to Ordalia, Romandon, and beyond. The deeds of Saint Ajora are known to all, and yet I would seek to learn more of his remarkable journey. Saint Ajora's birth came some 1200 years ago in the midst of a golden age of technology when airships yet plied the skies. He was born in Lysalia, in the city of Burvania, moments after his birth. He rose to his feet and approached the well beyond reaching its base. Upon reaching its base, words of prophecy poured forth from his infant lips. A calamity shall soon befall this well. Seal it up at once, that none may drink of it. Some days later, Some days later, a plague descended on... I don't think that would help in this case, 9. Hold on. Hold on. No. I know. Specifically, some days later, a plague descended on the town of Bervenia, and all those who drank from the well succumbed to the contagion and perished. Only those families who heeded the prophetic words of Saint Ajora were spared from malady and death. After the incident with the well, the people came to revere Saint Ajora as a portent of miracle and child of the gods. Then, at the age of 20, his life was cut short. The circumstances surrounding his death are closely tied to the legend of the Zodiac Braves, told throughout Ivalice since ancient times. To trace the story of these fabled warriors, I must delve yet further into the past. Ivalice was not always united as it is today. Long ago, the realm was divided into 7 domains: Bovohem, Lionel, Limberry, Lesalia, Gallion, Zeltenia, and Muland, each warred with the others in a never-ending struggle to expand its own territory. It was the age of feudalism. This conflict had continued for centuries until an ambitious young king rose to power in Muland. This young monarch dreamt of uniting all of Ivalice under his hand, but the road to victory was a difficult and dangerous one. The king turned to ancient tomes and the dark magics found within, summoning a demon from the netherworld to do his bidding. But once unleashed, the demon slew the king and set out to destroy the very world itself. To combat this monstrosity, a great hero set out on a quest. Together with his 12 comrades, he collected the Zodiac Stones that had been scattered throughout the world and thereby formed the Zodiac Braves. These warriors soon defeated the demons and its minions and banished the creature back to its infernal plane. These deeds came to be told as the legend of the Zodiac Braves. The Zodiac Braves have since appeared whenever the world balanced on the brink of catastrophe, only to vanish just as quickly once the crisis has been averted. Similar similar catastrophe threatened the world in the time of Saint Ajora. The liege lord of Limberry summoned a demon in hopes of seizing control of all of Ivalice and once again plunged the world into chaos. And just as in the legend, Saint Ajora collected the 12 Zodiac Stones. Once again, the Zodiac Braves rose to defeat the marauding demon. Thus was Saint Ajora hailed as the world's savior. However, the sovereigns of any age have small tolerance for the interfering of well-meaning heroes. Saint Ajora's fame drew the ire of the Holy Edoran Empire, which dispatched soldiers to capture him and his devoted followers. Pharaohism was the prevalent religion in the day, and its priests feared Ajora's growing influence. You might want to also consider like an icy hot. Really? Oh. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a dumbass. She's not wrong. Ultimately, Germanique, the 13th disciple, was tempted by sordid coin, offering vital information that led to his master's capture. The saint was executed upon the gallows of The saint was executed upon the gallows of Golgotha soon thereafter. But lest we forget, Saint Ajora was a child of the gods. The wrath of the heavens was swift and terrible. Immediately following the execution, Muland, the center of Ferris teachings, was visited by a terrible cataclysm. The skies rained blood, and a storm of golden lightning ravaged the city. The very earth trembled, and with a thunderous roar, Mulan sank into the sea. This was the legend with which I was familiar. I can't say that. The very same tale told to every child of Ivalice. But the Saint Ajora described within the scriptures of Germanique was a different man altogether. Ajora was no man of the gods. No, yeah. So I was playing with Kid earlier, so I muted the soundboards. Okay. Soundboard is on. Ajora was no I hate that so much. I hate it. Ajora was no child of the gods. He was a mere mortal. I love you too, Persephone. Grimy did actually... How long has it been, Grimy? Damn. I love you as well, Alana and Nine. He was a mere mortal, no more divine than you or I. He was a revolutionary who fought to realize his own ambitions. He was no lover of peace, no hero who would sacrifice himself for the good of humanity. Okay, hi, Danny. How's it going? Germanique wrote of him. As the founder of the new religion with a rising number of followers, Ajora was seen as no more than a nuisance to the empire, but to the slaves of the destitute who suffered more under imperial rule. The fair treatment and equal opportunities espoused by Ajora appeared as a ray of hope, and he was their savior. How long is this shit? Damn. Okay, yeah. You're by now. Okay, hi, Danny. It's going good. It's going good. How am I? I'm okay. I'm doing all right. I'm vertical. You know how it is. How was Fortnite earlier? But Ajora was apparently more than just a religious founder. He was a saboteur who infiltrated enemy states to collect information and sow disorder. Ajora was a spy, dispatched to the Holy Edoran Empire by a rival state. He was... At least you're vertical? True. Oh, you couldn't even see my hands. Finger guns. It was good. I got a dub and then got off. Nice. Sometimes you gotta. His teachings, the faith they inspired, and the influence he wielded were but contrivances to enact the downfall of the empire, orchestrated from within its borders by Ajora himself. But for all his guile... Wow, how freaking long is this? But for all his guile... I'm not laughing at it. I'm shaking my head at you. You gotta be nicer to yourself. I did not laugh at it. Okay, what's up? Double jointed. I saw stuff. For all his guile. Okay, so I'm there. Damn, okay. So we're a good chunk of the way through. I feel better. Made people rage quit 2v2s. Interesting. It was fun. I finally feel better. Hell yeah, it was miserable earlier. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you weren't feeling well. Fun time. As long as you had fun. That's what's important. Music in this game is great. Yeah, but I'm reading a giant book. Easy McCheesy. I want to get to the killing. I want to get to the fighting. But for all his guile, the Imperials were fully aware of the threat that Ajora spread. Germanique was employed to collect evidence that would allow the Empire to arrest Ajora as a spy. The 13th... I'd do that. The 13th disciple was in reality no more than the Empire's instrument, and we don't have well, we do have doorways at work, but like, I don't know if that would work. What are we throwing? Hands? Which hand are we throwing, though? Are we throwing our left hand or our right hand? Oh, bear. The 13th disciple was in reality no more than the Empire's instrument in a play to uncover Ajora's true intentions. It seems that Ajora indeed attempted to form the Zodiac Braves. Germanique confirmed in his writings that Ajora even discovered some of the stones and had entrusted them to his closest disciples. But what was his purpose in informing the Zodiac Braves anew? I do not know if the Liege Lord of to verify. Elder Simon's notes speak of his doubts on the matter, and not a single line within the scriptures seems to record the event. Nevertheless, it appears the catastrophe in which the greater part of Mulan sank into the sea did indeed coincide with Ajora's execution. The footnotes provided further enlightenment. They expressed a different view. No doubt the personal opinion of Elder Simon. Although many speak of their existence, none had ever set eyes upon these scriptures of Germanique. Some might say they are fraudulent, written with the sole purpose of discrediting Saint Ajora, but I know this tome to be authentic. When I served as an inquisitor for the church, those in its upper echelons feared the existence of this work. And the same is no doubt true for the High Confessor. They were all fearful of these writings, for everything contained within them is fact. After Saint Ajora's death, the church which had capitalized on his considerable influence to seize power for itself, had only one task: to conceal his true nature as a human being. This one fact had to be erased from the annals of history. They needed to ensure that Saint Ajora They needed to ensure that Saint Ajora be remembered as a child of the gods. Their use of the Zodiac Braves, a legend believed throughout the continent, was a stroke of genius. It was a simple feat to convince the people that Saint Ajora had led the Zodiac Braves to defeat a demon that never existed. I realize now that I had lost my faith the moment I began to read these scriptures, and yet I feel so... I'm gonna go to sleep. No worries. Yeah, please take care of yourself first and foremost, Danny. Ow. That's a lot of veins. I realize now that, oh wait. And yet I feel no sorrow. Thinking back, I now know that my desire to know the truth was stronger than my faith had ever been. But above all, I am as guilty as any involved in this great travesty. All these years. I can hear you guys. Please don't, Nine. Please don't. I know. Please don't open 2 energy drinks, Nine. Honestly, even opening one at 1 a.m. You're looking at my stream, aren't you? You could easily just... All these years, the church had concealed the truth and lied to our flock. Though I am compelled to condemn these acts, I cannot bring myself to do so. Please do moderate your caffeine consumption is all I'm gonna ask. I know you know your body well. Please also remember to drink water. You win this one. Though I am compelled to condemn these acts, I cannot bring myself to do so. Even were I to bring the scriptures before the people, the church would not stand idle. In all likelihood, I would be accused of heresy and burned at the stake. But that is not the true reason for my inaction. This library is everything to me. It is a treasure beyond compare, the only means of slacking my endless thirst for knowledge. If I were to share this book with the world, my precious library will be taken from me. I cannot allow it to be separated from my tomes. I can think of no pain greater. In the end, my curiosity eclipsed my will to do what was right. Within these pages lies the truth hidden by the church for so many years. The miracles of Saint Ajora were not but lies, and he but an ordinary man. An by interweaving the events surrounding Ajora's death with his mendacious teachings. His followers fabricated a means by which to seize power. But is that truly all there is to know? Elder Simon wrote that Saint Ajora's demon never existed, but I have seen the dark power of the Zodiac Stones with my own eyes. There's an evil presence at work, something much more sinister than even the High Confessor and his twisted plots.
New discoveries awaiting even the most dog-eared of
Oh!
toads. You are always welcome.
That took forever. Holy shit. Music in this game is great. I freaking love it. Good night, Danny. Tears 9. What happened? Did I miss something, Steezy McCheesy?
Good day to you. Want to earn some gil? Anything else I can help? Thank you and farewell. Good day. Come back.
Looking for aught in particular? After aught, would that by all may I be of? Who needs outfitting? This is your grand. It won't be.
Do I need more money?
This is your grand top. Anything.
Might need a little extra money. Ew, this is awkward.
This is your grand most.
I know what I want to listen to. All right, let's see. Fucking bet. Magic attack power.
This is your anything. Will that be all? Or catch your eye?
Where's my mouse?
Are you happy? Anything?
And then I can pick up a wizard's rod. I don't have enough money. Oh no. Goku's bowl.
Will that be? I await your next visit. Greetings. After aught in particular.
I freaking called it. I knew what he was gonna do. It's the same reason why I stand up. No, he doesn't. Listen, it's good to have boundaries. I know all of you can hear me, probably. 9 can't because he doesn't have his headphones on. Oh, shut. Stop talking about him. Stop talking about him.
Come back anytime.